Guys, we did it. We just passed $20,000. Actually, we're at $20,100 in the account. And I do say we, you all have kept me going over the past year. So per usual, we're gonna do another weekly breakdown of my Robinhood account that I've been investing $300 in for about a year and a half now. My name is Forrest. I invest in stuff. I believe everybody should too. So if you're new here, go ahead, slam that subscribe button, and let's all get a little bit more wealthy together. So if this is the first video that you've seen in this series, back in April of 2024, I started investing $50 every single day into a brand new Robinhood account. And the reason that I started doing that is because it is one of my passions, and I actually believe my purpose to help people achieve financial freedom. This is something that has been on my heart ever since I was a kid, actually, because I noticed while this was something that I was passionate and very knowledgeable about and can actually help people, and specifically help me achieve financial freedom and prosperity, whenever I talked to other people about it, no one had a clue. And so a lot of this is a lot easier to digest and understand than maybe the world would even have you think it is. And so what I decided to do was just through examples show you how easy it is to start investing, and a year and some change later, we're over $20,000. My strategy and my approach has been to just do dollar cost average investing. Dollar cost average investing is essentially just regardless of whether the market is up or whether the market is down, on a consistent interval. For me, that's every single day. For you, that could be every week, every month, whatever the interval is, you just put money into the market. Now, the thing that we're buying and the thing that we're actually putting money into, in this case, is the S&P 500 index. So an index can track a lot of things. The S&P 500 index that I use is VOO. Okay, it's a Vanguard fund, and it is an index that tracks the 500 companies that make up the S&P 500. So if that's a lot of jargon for you, that's totally okay. I'm gonna show you exactly what it looks like as an end result, and then in some of my other videos, you'll see the actual investment process. You can see those on my channel as well. So let's go ahead, jump into my Robinhood account on my laptop. If you're someone who's watching this video and you don't have an investment account, I encourage you to hit pause on this video right now. Go to Robinhood, create an account, and over this next week, I want you to start putting money into the market. One of the #1 hurdles that most people run into, or they ask me, they say, Forrest, I don't have a lot of money. You don't need a lot of money. Okay, the whole point of investing is actually to turn your small amount of money into more money, right? So I totally get it. In any case, let's go ahead, jump into the charts and take a look. Okay, so we're looking at the Robinhood account right now. As you can see, it's at $20,190. So it's currently Sunday as of the time that I'm filming this. You'll notice that I have $80.77 in. And so basically for this account, what I do is every single day I put money into the market. The reason why I have $80 is because I forgot to do it on Friday. Also, you'll notice that, 80 is not 50 or 60. And so I was messing around last week a little bit, and I just have some leftover change. So what's gonna happen is right now, with you all in this video, I'll go ahead and schedule an order so that when the market opens up on Monday, this $80 will go into this ETF. So let's actually take a look at what VOO is before we do that. So I mentioned earlier that I was buying this Vanguard S&P 500 ETF. I'll open it up here, and if we scroll all the way down, or really to the middle of the screen here, you can see what is in here. And so this is broken up by sectors, and in each sector are a bunch of different stocks. And so it's 35% tech, 10% consumer cyclical, healthcare, consumer defensive, financial services, et cetera, right? So this allows me to buy all of these different companies without having to go and spend hours every single day trying to pick stocks. Being a stock picker is actually really, really hard, and it's not something that I recommend for anyone. Okay, the most conservative, best thing that you could do to start accruing wealth is just invest into an index. America's S&P 500 is the best index historically to invest into. You can dabble into other things once you've accrued some knowledge. One of the cool things about money is that once you have some, it gives you more options. You don't need to do this perfectly. Okay, even doing it really, really poorly, it's gonna grow your wealth, and that's great. And then once you've learned a little bit more, or maybe if you have some more opinions about it, you can do something else. So up here on the right, we're gonna do a buy order. I'm gonna do all the money that's available right here, $80, hit review order, and hit buy. Okay, you're gonna notice it says you are placing an order to buy approximately $80 of VOO based on the latest market price of $591 $5.94. You will receive approximately 0.13514 shares. Your order will be queued for market open and processed at the best available price. So there's a few things here. One, you'll notice that one share of this costs almost $600, and I only have $80 of cash in this account. What's really cool about Robinhood and a bunch of other brokerages now is that you can buy partial shares. And so even if you have $5, guys, you have no excuse. Get into the market. That $5 can turn into $7. And over years, that $5, believe it or not, just through the way the market works, will eventually be $1 million. It actually will. So it's so important to put money into the market. So I'll go ahead and hit buy. That order is queued up for market open. Let's go ahead and take a look at the account overall. Okay, I can hit review order and hit dismiss. But taking a look at the account, you can see that just this position here in the Vanguard S&P 500 ETF, I have $15,698. My average cost is $534. You see my average cost is lower than the current price. That's what we want. That's why we dollar cost average into the market, okay? If I take a step back into my entire portfolio, so that's the main position, okay, $15,000 here. I've got some Palantir, some NVIDIA, some Microsoft, TSM, SoFi, MicroStrategy, and Rivian. You'll notice I have a lot of shares of Rivian. I really like Rivian. I love electric cars. I think they're the future. And I don't really like what Elon is doing right now overall. I think that he has poisoned the brand of Tesla, right? Just how he was the reason why it took off, quite frankly, right? He's a genius in his own right. You don't have to like him politically, but he does have the ability to execute certain things at a really, really high level. I think his ego got the best of him, and he thought that he was good at everything else. Or he thought he was just as good at these other things as he was good at, being a charismatic, techno crack guy, and he just isn't, and it's working against him now. Rivian, on the other hand, I really like the CEO. I watch a lot of his interviews and podcasts. I'm just a techie guy. I like the company. That's also an American company. Despite being a person who's really tapped into social issues, I really, really am pro-America. I love America, and I think it's incumbent on all of us to make it a better place. So anyways, buy some Rivian shares. Anyways, that's really it, guys. Keep it simple, keep it straightforward. It doesn't matter, what app you start with, and I'll kind of just segue into the most common questions that I get. Okay, Forrest, how much money do I need to start investing? It doesn't matter, whatever you got. How often should I do it? Well, the best cadence is a cadence you can stick with. It could be every day, it could be every month. The most realistic thing to do is anytime you get paid, pay yourself first. Most people worry about paying their bills or paying other people or looking out for other people. You have to pay yourself first. Pour into yourself, right? And that's the best way that you can provide stability for yourself and everyone around you, right? So pay yourself first. And then if you got to borrow from yourself, that's fine. Okay, there's nothing wrong, by the way. Like I have $20,000 here for the sake of this channel. I can at any point in time take this out and use it for something else. I have that option. That's why I say money gives you options. I can use this money as I see fit because it's mine, right? And that's totally okay. There's no rules. That's not a boogeyman that's gonna pop out and bop you over the head because you took some cash out of an investment account to go, send your kid to school or something, right? Whatever is important to you in life, use your money. It's just a tool. It doesn't matter which app you use. No, I use Robinhood because it's accessible. There's a link down below. If you use the link in the description of this video, you and I both will get some free shares, so free money, that's cool. But overall, it really doesn't matter. Robinhood, despite all the stuff, there's a bunch of stuff about GameStop and things in the past, which isn't really relevant for long-term investors. And unless you have millions and millions of dollars, it's totally fine to use an app-based broker like Robinhood versus like a traditional bank like Chase and these other things. A really important note here as well is that a lot of the traditional big banks are totally fine to use, but their apps aren't as user-friendly. So I want you to keep that in mind. One of the benefits of using the newer apps is that they're easy to understand and you're not gonna need a textbook to figure out how to invest your money. Some of the old school banks, quite honestly, they're just not up to the times on technology, and it'll even confuse somebody like me. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. So that's why I would use one of these apps for this purpose. But again, it will not change how much money you make. I could buy VOO through Chase. I could buy VOO through Robinhood. I could buy VOO through, any other bank out there, just for an example. Whew. In any case, if you found that helpful, go ahead and subscribe. The link to the new Discord, I just created a new Discord for the investment community. It's down below this video. Join that. I will be dropping updates and would love to have some discussions about equities and things that you all are interested in that community there. See you in the next one. Peace.